the Fed. Everyone's expecting a 0.25% increase. The market will likely move based on the tone and the comments in terms of are they hawkish, are they dovish. Now, there was some news out this morning which could impact that, and it's already impacted not only sentiment, but you'll see in a second with the bond market. This morning, ADP payroll numbers came out. One second. Hold on. I got to change my background here. Okay. ADP payroll numbers came out much better, much worse than expected. Something like it was supposed to be like 180,000 jobs. It was like 100,000, right? So that could be interpreted as bullish in terms of giving the Fed the room to be dovish, right? The economy is weakening. There's fewer jobs out there. So maybe we don't need to be as hawkish. And you don't really see it in QQQ and SPY, right? In fact, SPY is down a little bit and QQQ as well, although the chart's kind of, yeah, Q's. But look at this. TLT sharply up. Remember, the bond market's smarter. Rates down. This means expectations because of the job numbers are interest rates are going to be lower sooner, not higher longer. That's based on the ADP job numbers, okay? So we'll see. I'm a little bit suspect going to 2 p.m. just because we've come up too far too fast. And, my instinct is Powell and the Fed, they're going to be like, we don't like the stock market up here this high, this fast. So I lost, here we go. Wait, oh my God, I got my blue X's. But anyway, we don't like the market this high up this fast. Risk assets have gone up like 50, 80, 100% in like a month. And, we're near key levels, whether you call that a resistance level or a breakout level, depending on if you're looking at the daily, at the 200-day moving average just above it, the weekly just below it. SPY is a little bit of a different picture, right? So I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, the market's going to want an excuse to sell off. And the Fed is not going to like it that we're up so much, and they're going to be hawkish. But we did have that jobs number, and you got to respect what the bond market and the currency market is telling you right here. So, I don't know. I was thinking about definitely I'm raising cash, right? I'm going to raise cash going into 2 p.m. I was thinking about buying market puts going into 2 p.m. or maybe something like SQQQ or FNGD, something like that. But now, I don't know. Maybe I'll just watch and wait and see what happens and then decide what to do after the conference call. And, we have earnings tomorrow. So this is not the end of the story, right? We don't necessarily get the all clear if they're not very hawkish. You still have to go through Apple earnings tomorrow and Google and Amazon all tomorrow after the close. So really, we got a couple days of risk. Cash ahead of that. Do it how you like, raise some hedge or only keep your highest conviction names, whatever you want to do. So let's get into some specific names. And there are a few things out there. Remember yesterday, we killed it. There were 4 high conviction picks on the morning show yesterday. They were LAC, Plug, Generac, and AMLI, right? 3 of them turned out to be big winners during the day, right? It hit all our targets. In fact, LAC hit the 200 DMA, tagged the 50-week moving average. Right now, it's gapping above the 50-week moving average. This is on the major financing deal with GM. So now a chance this can move to $30. But I gave you my thesis yesterday of why I only did a trade in LAC. I didn't hold it for a big swing because that financing is contingent based on a court case. So that was too much doubt for me. Instead, I loaded up on AMLI yesterday. And AMLI didn't work out yesterday at $3.55. I said, maybe it's going to take a day for the market to react and say, hey, Nevada lithium is a good play. I did not know that they were going to have news this morning. So now we got news this morning on the PEA, the Preliminary Economic Assessment. And this is apparently something the market's been waiting for a while. I've seen comments on social media over the last couple of weeks that they're waiting for this from AMLI, right? And listen, this is not my area of expertise. There's a bunch of technical data hidden here. I'm not a mining expert at all. Tony in our room, who more is than me, says this report was really good. Also on social media, I'm seeing comments that it's much better than expected. They not only have lithium, but they have all these other byproducts, magnesium and other stuff. And don't forget, we still have the uranium spinoff. Now, I don't have a great chart, unfortunately, for TD. TD, for some reason, they don't give me this chart, but I did share a screenshot from an E-Trade chart, and I put it in the room this morning. And I think this thing is good for a swing now to $4 to $5, unless we're completely wrong about the PE, unless Tony is wrong, unless social media is wrong, right? And the PEA is terrible, right? If it's good, if the fundamentals are good here, this is a huge catalyst now to take this towards $4 first and then $5 after that. And wow, help the shorts if they announce the uranium spinoff. It could be off the hook. We can maybe go over $5. So that's the story with AMLI and LAC. Plug seeing a little bit of follow through. Well, a little consolidation here. This morning it was over 17. Now it's pulling back just a little bit. My swing targets here are 1750 and then 19. I'm currently not in it myself. I did play it yesterday for a bit, but those are the two targets to the upside, 1750 and 19. Of course, all bets are off if the Fed comes in and raises by 0.5% unexpected or extremely hawkish, and all bets are off on these risk assets making their moves. So be careful. All right, Generac, no follow through yet this morning, but that's not really unusual. Our experience with Generac is it doesn't really move in extended hours, and it even takes some time to heat up during the day. Yesterday, we had such high conviction on Generac, and it took an hour or so until it exploded off of this news of home EV chargers. Very, very bullish news. I like the chart. I like that it broke this resistance I gave you guys yesterday. It was around 118.70, I believe, or 118.96, something like that. So right now, my two swing targets on this are 125 and 135. Okay. Again, though, there's risk with the market and FOMC and everything else like that. But if it's not a disaster, 125 and 135 are my next targets for Generac. Again, not so concerned that we're not seeing follow through in extended hours. It's not that type of stock. We'll have to wait for the institutions to buy this stock during the day. Let's hope that continues there. Rig, I'm going to save that for when Vegas comes on. She mentioned this to us in the last week or so. She was looking at the money flow and the price action. I didn't know much about it, but I did see they had news yesterday, $392 million contract award. Seems pretty significant compared to their close to $5 billion market cap. So we'll see if Vegas has any updates for us, what she thinks on Rig after that news. AI, a new stock here for me. I should have known about it. When ChatGPT exploded, we played Microsoft. We had a really good call on Microsoft for a couple of days. I wish I knew about AI. AI has been moving on ChatGPT sentiment this whole time, and it's doubled since then. And not only that, but apparently there's some fundamentals. It's not just sentiment, but they've integrated ChatGPT into one of their products. AI. And then someone in our room shared a report on AI about their fundamentals and how things are turning around. They've changed around their business model. The EV pretty low. They have a lot of cash, like $800 million in cash, something like that, like maybe $8-9 in cash. So very interesting story here. And I noticed that this is getting a lot of action on Reddit. People are talking about it. And then I noticed the volume in the options yesterday. Well, it's not really reflected in the OI. Were they just day trading those, or are these not updated yet? But yes, a massive volume on the $20, $21, $22, like this whole area here. We're talking about 10, 15, 20,000 contracts. I don't know why it's not reflected in the OI unless they were just flipping it during the day. But my thesis was, hey, maybe these Reddit folks are trying to get a gamma squeeze out of AI, is what I was thinking. What's the short? It's 9% short, high options activity, at least yesterday. So I don't have a prediction for you on this right now. It's a new stock. We're monitoring it. If I knew about this back when, we're pushing Microsoft, I would have been jump on AI. So maybe late to the party on that. But perhaps there's more room if the Reddit folks try to push this and do a gamma squeeze and generate a short squeeze as well. So maybe something there, definitely a good stock to at least have on watch, and maybe we can find better entries in the future. GNS had strong, there's a whole naked short selling theme. Yesterday was a great day. It had really good consolidation. You can see this here, holding this 200 MA moving average on the 5-minute chart into after hours. It was really strong holding that, and you can see this morning some strength here from 510 to 570 now, pulling back at 550. Good volume and 1 million shares already. And I think GNS and BLNK can play off each other. What's happening here is BLNK, a company you may be familiar with, EV charging company. Let's look at the long-term chart here. Look, it used to be really hot, went up to 56. It bottomed out here at $10. Now here at $14. This morning, they've joined the GNS party. BLNK charging rises after hiring firm to probe naked short selling. This was interesting to me on a couple levels. Possible synergistic effect, because BLNK is the most legitimate company yet to go into this investigation of naked shorts. So it does a couple things. It brings credibility to what GNS is doing, and maybe that's why you had this pop in GNS. I'm not really sure. I didn't investigate this pop. Maybe there's some other news I don't know that's not in my feed, but you can actually see the news feeds. Look at it. You can see how BLNK and GNS showing up in an HLBZ. They're all being grouped together now. So this is interesting because I think it brings credibility to this whole sector of stocks. But not only that, specifically for BLNK, this is already a company that's a real company. They have, I think, substantial revenues. I know someone actually reached out to me in the past week to say they've done their research on this. They've talked to management, and the market doesn't understand that they've really turning around the fundamentals here. And this is a good fundamental play. So that was already on my radar in the back of my head. So when I saw this news, I'm like, oh, fundamentals might be turning around. Now, I haven't verified that myself yet. Plus a 30% short position. Plus now they're joining this whole trend of GNS stocks. So I jumped on this in pre-market. Okay, I did jump on this. I think it's going to have legs all day. I don't know if it's going to pull back first and then go, or if it's just going to do a gap and run. That I don't know. Let's see how it does during the day. But you can see here 1481 resistance, and after that, after 1481, a little bit at 1550 maybe. And then you got your 200 DMA 1650, 1481, 1550, 1650 possible targets, maybe even for today. So that's BLNK. AMD had earnings last night. Not one I really follow, but it was a standout in terms of the earnings. It seems to be taking business away from Intel. It's a nice little chart here. $78 moving towards the 200 DMA around $79. And it could be that there's some sentiment between Tesla, which is continuing to do well here the last couple of days, between Tesla and AMD. It may be giving Air a little push as well. So I'm not really prepared to say, hey, time to buy Air, but that's a nice little green candle after a short consolidation. I'm really looking at this 20 DMA on Air coming up towards 30. There was already a lot of support at 30. Now you get double support at $30 at this 20 DMA. So something maybe to sell puts on, something if it drops towards 30, you can pick up. And potentially, we'll have to see, depending on how the market does, if we blow up, take a look at Tesla, take a look at the chip sector. I think they could drag Air up with it, even if it is overvalued. All right, we did have some news on CTLP this morning, which seems important. Cantaloupe seed platform adopted by leading Pepsi bottlers. So right off the bat, that's sentiment, right? Because Pepsi's a big name and leading Pepsi bottler. And if you go look at the details, you'll see this company has 9,000 vending machines, 1,400 office service delivery points. So it does not look like an immaterial partner here, Pepsi bottler. And yesterday on the post-market show, I actually talked about CTLP. There were a few charts I brought up, CTLP, and here, it was CTLP exactly. Did I bring up the AI? No, it was, those four. So I'm like, these have nice little charts, and look for possible news to take it up to the next level. CTLP bouncing right off the 20 DMA yesterday. So really nice movement yesterday. About 525 to 540 is your next resistance level. This may be the catalyst that takes you there. On our swing chart, I think we had like 550 resistance, and after 550, all the way up here at like 690. Those are the two next resistance areas. And I think there may be a possibility. No, yesterday closed at 510. I think there may be a possibility. We'll definitely kind of try to test this 525 to 530, 540 area. Not sure if we get all the way to 550, but this is now something to watch. I really like that bounce off the 20, bullish cross 20 over the 200. So CTLP high on my watch list today. I might at some point try to initiate a swing position in that today. Bed Bath & Beyond still waiting for a possible bankruptcy filing. ACHR was another one that I noticed really good price action in, and nice little chart. Looks like a little cup forming, and target 320 on ACHR. I do own that in my long-term account, but possibility to pick up a little bit of a swing there as well. So that's perfect timing. That brings us right to the next segment of our show with Vegas. Good morning, Vegas. How you doing?
Hi. Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Doing great. Yesterday was awesome. We nailed it with LAC and Plug and GNRC. I think you did well with GM. Of course, we got FOMC today. I do have a couple stocks I want to run by you, but you know what? Let me just throw your stock back to yourself. You gave us RIG last week or so, and they had news this morning. What do you think? Did you see the news? It was last night.
Yeah, the rig is great, and actually, I got a couple messages from people on Twitter saying that thanks for the rig. I guess they listened to the show, and said thank you so much for the rig play. That was really good. So rig looks good still. It has to break $7.20 today. If it breaks $7.20, we can see this go towards.
Wow, this is a 52. This is 52-week high territory. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And if it breaks 720 today, though, if nobody's in the trade and they were like, oh, I want to trade it, we'll wait for the break of 720, and then has room to 748, which is the 400 SMA weekly. And I would have a stop loss like under 650, so I wouldn't give it like too much room. I wouldn't want it to go under 650, so that would be like the pretty tight stop on that trade. So looks good though. Looking for that continuation.
Nice call. You saw the price action. Sometimes in story trading we like to front run the price action by looking at the news, but a lot of times the opposite happens. The price action and the money flow happens first, and then the news hits. It happens both ways. So this one you caught. Good job on rig.
Yeah, thank you. So let's see what else you want to hear. Let's see AMD. Did you hear AMD's earnings?
Yep, we talked about AMD. They had great earnings. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so AMD looks great. If it can get over that, I like where it is right now. It's over that $78 mark, so I think there's room to $80. So AMD looks really good.
200 DMA.
Yeah, looks really good. 80, and if it breaks 80, it could go to 80.47. So I don't really see it going higher than that today. 80 and 80.47. So, but that looks like great. Looks like my top watch. I have AMD swing. I swinged AMD actually into earnings. Had a very small position for March contracts and a couple weeklies here. So I was very comfortable doing it, and again, it was a small size, so I knew what the risk was going into it. So those always don't work out. Earnings swings don't work out. But for options, the size was small, so my loss would be, the most I could lose is the money I put in. So I know what it is. And they said also AMD believe Q1 is bottom for PC market, according to AMD.
Nice.
So
that's good stuff. They got a whole bunch of price target increases this morning as well. I forgot to mention that this morning. 87, 90, 96, I think I saw here.
Oh, they got a lot of upgrades. All right.
Yeah, a whole bunch of price target upgrades this morning. So lots going for AMD. I would love to get, two things I want to ask you about. GNRC, did you play that? We pushed you on GNRC and it exploded yesterday. Want to know if you played it, and if you didn't, what you think at this point, if GNRC still has more room to the upside.
Yeah, GNRC is good. I didn't play it personally myself. I think my room had it, and I think a few people there definitely played it. I was just so enthralled with these option trades that it's hard for me to always be in all these different stocks. So I usually prefer swing trades. Like day trade is great sometimes when the option market's quiet. But yesterday was really crazy in the option market. So. But that was a really good trade, and I think there is still room for this one to go. Are you on a swing trade still?
Yeah, yep. I am still in the swing trade, looking for 125, 125, and then 135. I'm actually doing this with options. The options you recommended for us, actually. Yeah, I think it was it was the 115 February. I forget which one he gave us, but that's the one I'm in.
Yeah, the monthly. I said that we could do the monthly.
Yeah, the monthly.
At least you have time for your trade to work its way out. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was good.
Still playing that. I want to throw one by your radar. Blink. Are you familiar with Blink, the EV charging company?
Blink. I know Blink very well. I've traded it so many times.
They had news this morning. Did you see the news?
No, I didn't. What was the news there?
Okay. they're jumping on the GNS train. They're hiring a firm to probe naked short selling. So that's been a catalyst this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
Okay.
up
So a lot of these
5%.
companies are doing that.
Yeah, and this is the biggest, highest profile one yet that's doing it. So I did jump into this in pre-market. Tell us what you think of this chart here.
So on BLNK right now, trading at 1435, up 5% on BLNK. So that's really nice to see off that news. And you know what? It kind of looks like it's ready for a move up. Let me just pull up the weekly chart because you guys know I love to look at the weekly charts and to kind of get a feel for like which ways this want to go on BLNK. So if I look at this weekly, I will say, well, where are we now? We're trading at 1435, and on BLNK, are you guys in a swing right now, or you're looking for?
I got in pre-market. And I wanted
Ooh,
to hear your take. Maybe I'll get in bigger.
yeah,
I'll do options. I don't know, depending on what you tell me here.
yeah, and Blink has options too. So Blink looks great. Listen, if it, I would say this has to hold $13.20 because you guys know I like to trade with the 8 in 21 EMA. So this will look really nice. I mean, it did, if it can get over that 1446, we'll see some buyers come in because what was the high day so far pre-market? Did it get over? Let me see. BLNK.
High day pre-market about 1468.
I have 1460. So it did tap and break the 21 EMA, which is really nice. So BLNK, in my opinion, has room to 1542, 1557. And then if it breaks that, like could go towards like 1694. And then if it ever broke that, like 1829, 1845, 1894.
I'll
So
take
I
it.
would say, yeah, I'll take it too. So BLNK, because this is a, could be a potential momentum play as well. But
30% short. Vegas 30%
yeah,
short.
what's nice? I would rather do instead of doing the February monthly because we're already Feb 1 today. So if you're going to do a swing trade on BLNK, I would say that my favorite choice would be the $15 call for March 17 because those were pretty cheap. I mean, those closed yesterday at 77 cents. And let me see the open interest because I'm just pulling up the options chain right here as we're talking. Yeah, the $15 calls have like over 1,300 open interest.
Oh, you're right. Wow.
And the thing is, you want to have time on the trade. I mean, yes, the $15 calls, it's not much more money to go into March. I mean, you're getting an extra month and a half on the March contract. So I would say do not do a February contracts if you're going to do the options angle on BLNK. Go straight to March 17, consider the $15 calls, and you just sit there and wait for the stock to continue working its way up. And, stop loss would be like under 1320. Then if it's ever pulled back below, then I would, have to probably look at closing the trade because it's broke support. But, $15 calls look really nice. And maybe like if you were to consider it, we have the FOMC meeting today. So, maybe you want to consider Blink swing maybe after the event, because we don't know which way how the market's going to react with Powell's speech. So, and by the way, what are your thoughts on today's event? What do you think is going to happen?
I talked about at the top of the show. The employment numbers came in weaker than expected, and I don't know if you monitor TLT and UUP, but TLT, was up pretty sharply. An interest rate UUP, which reflect interest rate expectations, went down, and that's I think directly related to the very weak jobs number this morning. So the market thinking that the Fed has a opportunity here to be less hawkish. But I was expecting 0.25 and strong hawkishness. The question is, how's the market going to react to that? And I've been leaning towards we got to pull back because we've been up so much in the past month or so. But I don't know. It feels like the market really wants to go up, and maybe this weak jobs number will be an excuse to keep making that happen. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's anyone's guess. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I do monitor TLT bond market as well. And I think, I think it's going to have to wait, remains to be seen. Like, I think that 25 basis point, I think that's already baked into the market. So I think we're going to have to wait and see, like, what is Powell going to say that's going to give market some confidence, or if it's going to make the market feel uncertainty. Like, market doesn't like that, right? So there's going to be some panic going on if they feel like, oh no, I don't like what he's saying, doesn't make me feel comfortable. and obviously some selling happening. So right now, I hope to see a pop to the upside, but hey, it doesn't matter what I care, what I want, because you guys know I'm a bull. But you know what? I can't think that way, because I have to think like, okay, I have to remember, we've talked about this before. I have to trade what I see. So even though I want to be bullish and my mentality is like bull, 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 okay, there's days where it's like, okay, that's not working out for you. So market's going down. You have to be a bear. So I have to be adaptable to market conditions. So I'm prepared for that. My position sizing for trading today is going to be very small, very light, and then probably close everything. I'll probably close all my day trades out before FOMC and then just sit and wait, and then I'll go back in.
Very smart. That's the way to do it. We got to get going. We're close to the open. Keep an
Have
eye
a
on
good day.
AMLI, though. Keep an eye on AMLI. That
Okay.
might boom. We've been talking about it a long time. All right. Take care, Vegas. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye.